entrepreneurs in residence, our amazing team, who are based in Joburg, and we're just here just to have a conversation in the chat about who they are, so you can kind of see the behind the scenes of who are the people that are working on our Ventures program. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
I will go through in this sequence. Just tell us who you are, what you're working on, who did you work with during this time, and what's your speciality. Lebo?
All right, Silebo Homulife, better known as Dr. Life's Good. I'm in the space of entrepreneurship development, as well as building transactional communities. So we do a lot of crowdfunding, try and help communities to formalize and find their way in the world and own the assets that they consume the most.
My name is Gitumeti Diseko, and I am an EIR with the Alan Gray Foundation, Orbis Foundation, of course. And in my other time when I'm not working with AGOF and the entrepreneurs and the fellows in the space, I am involved in creating market access opportunities for entrepreneurs in South Africa as well as around the continent. And I work as well in the space of finance and funding for these entrepreneurs.
So I'm recently appointed as the director and principal at GCT.
Yes.
Very excited about that. But my focus has been on ed tech and social enterprises. So those are sort of the entrepreneurs I support and work with.
Again, Naidu, I'm an entrepreneur in residence at Alan Orbis Foundation. And so basically busy with assisting Simpuri on the strategy.
You're a return soldier, by the way.
Yeah. And just in terms of strategy and program management and such in Alan Orbis. And then also a coach and mentor for the association component. I have quite a few IVC guys on my team and who are mentoring and coaching, and EA, Entrepreneurial Academy. Beyond that, besides being an ER, I own 3 businesses. I'm basically Mr. Jack of all trades. 3 businesses: IT, telecoms, and Africa advisory firm.
When you just think about, the kind of support that we give our entrepreneurs, in comparison to other programs that you've coached for and worked with, what do you think is the thing that Alan Gray Orbis does really well?
I think the foundation has given an incubator type space where you're allowed to figure out your thoughts and get support. So both on a personal development front, which is very important for entrepreneurs, it's often not focused enough on a lot of programs, in fact most programs, because KPIs speak to the business and not to the individual. But my philosophy is that you should be focusing on the entrepreneur themselves. So Alan Gray does that pretty well. And I see it as well with some of the IVCs that I coach as well. It's like, this person is just allowed to be. And you're like, it's nice here, ne?
What do you think in terms of supporting young people to be entrepreneurs you need to be mindful of as they grow?
Most beautiful things about the Alan Gray Foundation is that there's an ecosystem, right? And the young ones starting have a reference point to see where this can go.
Yeah.
Right? That's powerful.
Yeah.
It gives them a reference point. And I think the beauty of your question is centered around the fact that you identify them early, and then at that early stage, you are able to put them in hot water, show them what is possible, right? Who pitches when you have to pitch and you are 12, it's a lot, right? Yes, it's a lot, but they get to do it.
What do you think we need to start doing, especially in the association in terms of our venture support? You've worked with fellows kind of for a longer period of time, and I think you probably know kind of a few more fellows than the rest of the guys.
So currently I feel like, yes, we do spoon feed them a lot. The support is great. I mean, we are there as mentors and, with availability and such. But I think that shift is to, they need to go out there, do things on their own as well, fail, and failing is a good thing as well. Make that mistake, right? so that you don't make that mistake and make sure you don't make that mistake in future. So my philosophy is inspire with success and guide with failures.
It's not to make them entrepreneurs, and this is the important thing that I associate with and why I decided to participate in the foundation, is that it's to give them an enterprising spirit, which is what we need more of in South Africa, instead of being spoon-fed, like you were saying, you know. And that for me has been such a critical thing, that let's give them more of context spot with the real market in terms of what is happening out there. So you get guided around how to start your business, the basic steps and stuff like that. But we should be actually engaging more of industry, you know, market access opportunities, and throw them into the lion's den and let's see, let them sink a little bit, so that they develop that grit, you know, from a character point of view. Like that.
What do you think is the role of a coach, and how do we differentiate a good coach, you know, from just somebody who does a basic job?
I think the value of a good coach reflects in who they're working with. And it's not necessarily, is this person successful, right? And to kind of distill what everybody's been saying in terms of really getting these guys to marry, you know, from their intellect to being out in the streets and understanding and actually having that kind of street smart and to be that person, you know. So I think for me, a good coach is really somebody who's able to guide, and it's not always going to work, because you know, I want to say you're only as good as your mentee, right? But sometimes people's experiences, and I think Yandisa gave a really amazing masterclass on this, and sometimes people's experiences can actually block, or past experiences can actually block their progress, you know what I mean? And I think for me as a coach, it's really important for me to look at three different things. And this is how I perceive the world myself personally, is, you know, you have your business or what you do. You are me, and this is what you do, or this is you in the world, but this is also your life experience. So if I'm speaking to you as your coach and I'm experiencing some kind of problem, I'm going to consider what it could be that is actually creating the block. So I feel like a good coach is not just focused on the success, but also wants you to grow into being a better person.
But in terms of performance management, you know, what are the things that I or any program manager needs to be looking at to say, you know, I'm watching Aniswa, I don't think she's a fit, I don't think she's doing well, I don't think she's going to take us where we need to go. And how do I catch that quickly and be able to either rectify or actually push out and say, thank you, Aniswa, you know, you're not a fit, or you're not going to give us what we need.
The mentees we're working with are book smart. They got into the program because of their marks, to stretch them out of perfection into the field of entrepreneurship is something that's going to require a lot, right? So it's not just tangibles in terms of revenue at the end, right? It's tangibles around how is this person perceiving the world now? That's difficult to measure, and that's why sometimes we don't measure these things.
Some of my mentees manage me. You know, like, here's my agenda. You know, here's my agenda. Here's my timing. This is what we need to discuss. You know, that's, you know, coming back and saying, I'm organized, and you can see the drive. You know, they're so excited about what they're doing, even though they're quite nervous in getting their product out, whatever the case may be. You know, they're coming in and saying, this is my agenda and this is what we need to discuss. I want to start, you know, and the sales component as well.
Okay, so we also have a big community, right? I mean, our youngest fellow is probably, 21, 22, and our oldest fellows are now, 30, 32, 33, right? That's such a vast network of people. How do we leverage this network? How do we make it beneficial in terms of growing high impact entrepreneurs, right? A cohort of high impact entrepreneurs who are going to change South Africa.
I think creating more of peer-to-peer networks is important, and driving collaboration, so that the community is stimulated to engage. A lot of people often find themselves in the right spaces, but they don't know how to engage, or they don't know what to say. You know,
if you were a fellow, what would you be doing right now?
In terms of connecting with others? I'm that person who seeks out people who are smarter than me, and I then find their weaknesses and I try and serve them in their weaknesses. And as a result, they want to reciprocate.
Yeah. You're to leave a message that would be shown 5 years from now about your hopes and your wishes for the foundation. What would that be as well?
Make sure that your character, your integrity, the basic values of humanity are very important if you want to be investable into the future.
More, more fellows, more impact, bigger impact, from a micro perspective as well as to the foundation at large itself. Just more, magwande.
Entrepreneurship is hard, it's hard. And I am hoping that the foundation would be the catalyst for some of the best entrepreneurs this continent has ever seen. That's really my wish and my hope, and why I even am participating as part of the foundation, is because I do think it's important for us to innovate and find our own solutions to our own problems, localize.
Knowing why, your purpose, and I think that will take us and entrepreneurs, into the next 5 years.
Thank you so much, guys. This has been so much fun for me. I just love talking to people that I work with. Besides COVID and the fact that we didn't get a chance to really just get to know each other and interact that much. It's just always interesting understanding people's lives, understanding what people think, learning, and I'll wake up at night and that's the thing I should address from what that person said.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and I really hope that this relationship that we've got with you guys will continue, and you'll continue being part of the amazing foundation you're doing. Thank you so much.